Good morning, Professor, friends, and everybody here. My name is Janie, and today I'll be talking about my project, NeuroLens, early Alzheimer detection through the eye. So when you think about the eye, you would think about eye infections, eye diseases, or even blindness. But today I will be talking about the eye and Alzheimer's. So before we begin, I would like to talk about my personal inspiration. Over the few years, I found out that my mom has this generational trend of having Alzheimer's, and I was very devastated and also afraid that I might have it as well. So this is my inspiration, and that's why I am here introducing my research project. So let's take an understanding of Alzheimer's disease. I'm pretty sure a lot of you understand what it is from previous researches, so I'm gonna keep it short. It is a progressive disease that could attack the memories and your thinking ability, mainly caused by two proteins, the amyloid beta plaque and tau tangles. These proteins disrupt the communications between neurons and could cause inflammations and eventually kill brain cells. People who are in risk are people who are high risk of older, about 65 years old, family histories like me, and also due to genetics. So one step ahead of the problem is time. Early detection matters. Let me take you to a Alzheimer detection that we have in the modern society right now. We have PET scans, SF spinal cords, through blood and also through genes. But guess what? Not a lot of people are using these tests because it's invasive and also expensive. So a simple solution for me is to just go to a eye examination clinic and see whether you have Alzheimer's or not. The eye is often say that it is the eye is the window to the brain, which means that it's very closely related because the retina, which is the back layer of your eye, share embryonic origins, which means that if the brain structure changes, the blood vessels in the retina also changes as well. And also these changes would happen 10 to 20 years before their first symptom, which is like forgetting, could happen. This is a picture of a research from NUS published in 2019 comparing Alzheimer's diseases and healthy individuals from the retina. So we're going to look at three main factors, which is the optic disc ratio, and it's the dot middle in the image. And if you closely look, it's more bigger than usual, which could indicate the risk factors. And also we're going to look at blood vessel and width densities. As you can see, there's less orange area, so it could also be an indicator for AIs. And also branching patterns is how spread the blood vessels in the retina are. And this is how I train my AI to organize and also pattern and categorize these patterns. So NeuroLens' objective is to provide an identification of individuals at higher risk and also recommend timely medical evaluations. So here's how it's going to work. First, you have to upload your retina image to the system, and then it's going to go through its own analyze system, give you a low, moderate, and high risk, and after that, it's going to give you personalized recommendations. This is how NeuroLens will also work. First, you gotta train the AI. You have to get at least 100 or more photos of retina, people who are Alzheimer's clinically confirmed, and also healthy age-matched individuals, and giving the three criteria, which are the optic disc, the densities, and also the branching patterns. Giving these patterns, the AI will go through its own pre-processing and also extracting features, being able to recognize these patterns, and finally, it should be able to predict and also recommend. So a few challenges I also want to address is that retina is not the same for everybody. So we need a large data of the retina. And also retina changes are not unique for Alzheimer's. There are also other diseases such as diabetes, glaucoma, or also eye infections. So we have to make our AI very specified. And lastly is that our NeuroLens require a very specialized camera because it's the back layer of the eye, so it must be trained very specialized. Lastly, for my applications, we got to work with community health centers or eye clinics to provide free screening and perhaps generate a printed report screening tool for your patients to see. This could reduce a lot of work time for doctors and could strengthen the diagnosis plan for your patients. Lastly is to work with governments and implement nationwide retina screening programs for adults age 50 plus. So to wrap this up, I'd like to say NeuroLens aims to provide faster, affordable, and non-invasive tool. I hope my product could be a standardized tool supporting the aging population right now, and most importantly, to spend more time with the people you love. Take a couple minutes to scan if we have time. This is how the program would work. We might do the QR code later. So I would like to end my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for interesting talk. So you said, the eye in the retina, you basically look at the vascular this malformation or like that in Alzheimer. They should appear only very in advance before the onset of Alzheimer's disease, right?
So this image, we're gonna look at the three main features. From my understanding, you're asking that, is this research?
So you only look at the vascular abnormality or?
So we're gonna look at three main features. The optic disc is like the middle center part. And we're gonna look at the blood vessel width densities in the retina. And also we're gonna look at branching patterns. The less branching patterns could also indicate the risk factors.
Do you also have to look at, for example, like age-related macular degeneration or something like that?
Yes, for sure, because as I said, age also matters. It could triple the risk factors as well, but then it's also encouraged to use for people who are family, like history related. For example, my family case, it's also recommended as well.
Okay, thank you.
So is it common that the AD patients lose their the vision eventually, or just the retinal change?
So
Just-
here we're okay.
Just retinal to change it, but there's no really a loss of vision.
So although Alzheimer is a fact that you cannot cure it, our solution here is to provide an early step of the problem. We cannot make people stop remembering, but we could at least have more time for planning. And a lot of research that I have read shows that you could reduce a lot of money from actually earlier diagnosis.
No, my question is, Alzheimer, the disease patients, do they, in many cases, do they experience a vision loss at the end because of the retinal change?
For the patients who are using my machine.
Right, that's for diagnosis, right? That's for
This is
screening
before-
purposes, right? For the AD patients. But my question is, there is retinal change because it is probably very similar to other eye complications, for example, like glaucoma. So for glaucoma, because of the such vascular malfunction, the patients lose their vision. So I'm curious, the AD patients also, they are also going to lose their vision at the end because of the retinal change or not?
I think it also depends on the severity. Some cases, not every Alzheimer people could lose their vision. And our project is likewise like more of the earlier side, not on the, like for vision, it's like a little bit moderate in the severe cases, which we're here to focus on the earlier detections.
And also, is it also true when the AD progress, the patients has more retinal complication?
So from this research, we're going to see that there's less branching. So basically, your retina, vascular blood vessels or so would reduce because the brain damage. So like I said, if the brain damage a lot, the eye structures also changes as well.
Okay, thanks.